How's it going, folks? Hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful day. I apologize in advance for the nature of today's topic because it's a bit of an unusual thing, but it's something that people have been talking about, and I figured I should also bring it up for those who don't know, not to, make you have a specific stance. I mean, you're all free to think what you want to think, just putting that out there, but it might be worth something if the more of us are aware about what's been going on, right? So recently there's been the reveal of Kiwami 3. Of course, we've all been there for that, and with it they also revealed a bunch of recasts for some of the characters. Now, opinions aside, one of the recasts was with the character of Hamazaki, where they brought a guy called Kagawa Teruyuki. At this point, you might have come across the hashtag removekagawa, and maybe you didn't look into it, so you're just like, what's going on? Like, what happened here? And I'm going to summarize what's been going on as briefly as I can and as concise as I can. So in 2019, Kagawa had this thing happen where he sexually assaulted two hostesses, and this is not just like gossip or hearsay or what have you. There's actual pictures that were kind of circulating on social media. The whole thing is there for you to see. I'm probably going to link a bunch of stuff in the description if you want to take a look for yourself. But this is something that's been causing a stir not only outside of Japan, but also in Japan. Maybe not as much in Japan, because unfortunately with things as they are in Japan, sexual assault against women apparently is not looked down upon as much as other countries. Now, of course, this is not a jab at Japan or anything like that. Every single country has its issues. Sexual assault is a global thing. It happens everywhere, and the location does not make it any better or any worse. Assault is assault. Now, again, this was in 2019, and then only 3 years later, the guy came forward to apologize to only one of the hostesses, and it wasn't because he wanted to. It's because the public basically peer pressured him into doing something about, what he did. He apologized to one hostess, and for the other one, he kept saying things like, she's twisting the truth or what have you, and basically not taking her seriously at all. And then bro legitimately with a straight face has the audacity to say something like, oh, she's twisting her words, do not take her seriously, blah blah blah. And of course the main problem here is the fact that you do have pictures of what's going on. It's not like we're going off of hearsay and gossip and, oh, this person said this person said that. Honestly, it's shocking how much things probably would have been better for him if he just apologized to the both of them and called it a day, even if he did not mean it. But I think the fact that he only gave a half apology sort of speaks something about him. Like, come on, dude, just apologize to both of them and end it there. When I first found out about this, I tweeted something out about how much it is a shame that we basically had other actors getting recast for doing like lesser things. So one misconception I do want to clear actually is with Tanimura's original actor, Hiroki Narimiya. I originally thought that he was recasted because of the whole drug accusations that were going on with him. But a Japanese follower actually reached out to me to basically tell me how things really went. Narimiya quit the industry at some point, and only after that, the Yakuza 4 remaster, happened. And by the point that it was happening, he was not active as an actor anymore. So they couldn't bring him back even if they wanted to. That's one misconception that I do want to put the spotlight on, because I have been seeing people that also think the same, and I can't blame them because I also thought the same thing. But then it's just so weird because you have a scandal like the Pierre Taki one with Judgment, where the guy was convicted of, doing drugs, cocaine, I think. And for that, within months before the game came out, they fully changed his face and his voice in the game and released the game on time. No delays, nothing. We still have like 4 months until Kiwami 3 comes out, so you know for a fact that they definitely have the time to change whatever it is that they need to change. I enjoy Yakuza games. No shit. I know. But the fact that Kiwami 3 now has a sex offender kind of associated with it just kind of feels very wrong. Like, man, it's insane how if you have like a drug charge or something, nobody's gonna give a shit because at the end of the day, you're doing that to yourself, not anybody else. But then, sexual assault or violence or what have you, anything that affects somebody else, that's a whole different matter, because then you're affecting other people that may not have anything to do with what you're doing. The crazy thing about this as well is that apparently there's been a new article coming out saying that RGG Studio basically does like 10 to 20 background checks before they cast somebody for their roles. You see the irony there? It's just strange. Like, did they intentionally cast this guy for one reason or another. I don't know. Putting somebody who did what he did in your game after having, at least somewhat of a good relationship with your community is not a good move. Like, something like this is just bound to happen, especially given how the actor himself, like, responded to a lot of the things that he did. Having things done to you against your will is horrible. And I don't want to go into too much detail. Unfortunately, I also had things done to me many years ago when I, of course, didn't want anything of that nature to happen to me. For better or worse, I'm the kind of person that would prefer to just fucking move on, never look back, and yeah, I would just rather pretend that whatever happened did not happen. Whether it's a good thing or not, I don't know, but that's how I've always responded to that kind of thing. And, now seeing people actually kind of trying to do something about this, I'm like, you know what? We do have a chance of having an effect here. So I'm also going to join in and, just talk about the issue, like, see where this leads us. If you guys didn't know, there's a petition going on as well, to basically just replace the actor. Like, they can just bring in anybody else. Like, it doesn't matter who, for the most part. I think at this point, anybody will just be happy that, we have somebody else playing Hamazaki. Like, it doesn't matter who. Something I may have forgotten to mention, but on the RGG Studio Japanese side of things, they have started, like, blocking and just hiding comments that have this hashtag. Like, it's impressive how things would not have given away a certain kind of impression if they just didn't do anything. Like, if they just ignored the whole thing, they would make themselves look less bad than what they're doing right now. Like, why go out of your way to do this? Why? Man, there's a lot to this that I'm probably not going to be able to cover in this whole video, but I just wanted to make a simple video to put it out there, to, talk about what's been happening and to just spread awareness about the whole thing. Again, I'm not saying you have to care about this. Hell, some of you probably don't care. That's okay. It's up to you. I can't force anybody to think a certain way. It's whatever. But it is something that I wanted to, again, put out because to say that it has me feeling mixed is an understatement. But yeah, there's a lot to this. I'm going to leave some links in the description once again if you want to, like, look into it yourself. If you don't, that's fine. I did try to give you the gist of what's going on. And yeah, that's what's been going on in the community as of late with Yakuza or Yakuza Kiwami 3. Now, once again, I genuinely do hope that RGG Studio reconsiders, like, take a step back, think about, what you're actually doing here. And just be better. Like, just bring somebody else. It doesn't, like, I'll be Hamazaki. Screw it, I'll be Hamazaki. Bring me as Hamazaki, I'll do the role. Okay, don't actually do that. But yeah, just to wrap things up, I do want to say that, I very heavily or very vehemently believe in, forgiving people for, like, any mistakes that they've done. I'm not a perfect person either. I've done stuff that I wish I hadn't done. I've said things that I wish I haven't said. But that's what makes us human. One of the dumbest things I've done is I used to say slurs like they're nothing. Slurs, the N-word, what have you. I wish I hadn't said them, but I did. Unfortunately, I can't change that now. And all I can do is just try to be better. And I hope I'm doing a better job, or like a good job at pursuing that goal. So, moral of the story, don't put anyone on a pedestal. Just do what you can to do better. And yeah. #removekagawa.